Or however that works. So yeah, how much? Because I know people do green
apparently
plate.
welcome
really
to the
come in
sex
the mail?
trafficking part of the episode, folks.
Yeah, they fold up.
Well, we're gonna figure out how much
that
does
they
an
went in
Ethiopian
boxes
girl
when I was a
cost.
kid. The mail order bride, I'd be like, all right. So point number 10 is make sure you go online and do your research before you decide on a venue. And point number 9, I would say is
What's this voice he's doing?
it's indignant, Luke. Like,
It is indignant, Luke. It's a little leftist.
Can I
indignant
finish,
Luke.
actually?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
if half the people you know don't want to come, maybe it's not a good wedding.
That is great
This is a
advice,
general
actually.
life philosophy.
Yeah.
You might suck.
So if you can have a Hobbit wedding, that's number 8, and
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get replaced by robots.
The wedding
With the
night
thing
is
stuff?
supposed to be the first time that you ever,
consummate.
Oh,
Yes.
So I would give this advice.
Yes. Step 8. Are we on 8?
I would say bang way before the wedding, way before the engagement. Find out if you bang well.
So yeah,
I mean, isn't your theory that you're supposed to bang the morning of?
you should definitely bang the morning of. I'm just giving you my reasons why.
that's a specific theory. You don't mean for the first time. You just mean like get the tension.
just get it out of the way.
Right, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you
Bang
because
and eat bacon. When you're being led around,
you gotta go
by
out and
your-
feed those geese real quick behind the wedding hall, and then get back in there.
No, I mean,
What?
you can just masturbate, but like
You know,
don't
feed the
think
geese,
clearly if you're
Joe.
really
Well,
horny.
yeah, you can always just masturbate.
On the bus, on the playground.
shower.
No.
And what if you're getting married that morning?
Step 7.
Step 7.
Don't masturbate on the playground. Oh, yeah, that's
Bang
step
the
6.
morning of
Honestly,
your wedding, not on
our
the
wedding-
playground. All of that is step 7.
Yeah.
Our
That's-
wedding, by the end of the night, we were so drunk and tired. You know.
Oh, remember we ruined the ironing board with Chinese food?
Oh, that did happen this wedding. Rule number 5 is if you get Chinese food all over the hotel ironing board, make sure you put it back in the
Can we
closet
stitch-
so that they think the
Oh,
next
you weren't
guest
there
did
for
it.
that.
Yeah,
Just
rule
watch
5.
them
If you get
devolve
duck
like a
sauce on the
jump site.
ironing board,
Chinese sauce everywhere.
On the ironing board?
Just everywhere.
oh, after you left our room, Luke, I spent a couple of minutes picking up all the Chinese food that just fell out of your mouth. And was getting. This hotel had like horror. Rule number 4, Joe. We just came up with rule number 4
Yeah,
is you
but
should
it was a real
you
one.
should sign
By
a
accident.
1-year lease with your fiance before you get married.
Oh, I was going to say
As a
you should
practice
prenup,
contract.
too.
Rule number 4, as I've always said, I mean, ask anyone, I've always said this. Rule number 4 about weddings is make sure you live together for a year.
That's rule number 3.
No, we just made that rule when you were in the bathroom.
Then what's rule number... I thought the Bill Murray rule was rule number 4. 2019 hashtag Yang Gang. Let's hear
Joe, wrong
the math.
episode. Wrong episode.
Oh, shit. That's next episode. Or previous episode. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Because when we got married, I was just a cash-based guy. Like
That's how you describe.
That's a great way
That's
to
how you
describe
describe
Johnny.
your mid-20s. I was a cat. I was just
From
a
20 to
cash-based
25,
guy.
Johnny was a cash kind of guy.
Luke and I shared an apartment.
He
and
paid
we
it. He
didn't
paid
trust.
rent in cash.
Yep, and he didn't. We didn't trust the landlord, so he always paid his rent in checks, and I would just give him a wad of smushed up 20s from my cash jobs I've always
It looked
had.
like it was like sock 20s.
It definitely
They were
was.
sock 20s because I
Yeah.
worked at a kitchen, and I just
It didn't
once
look
I
like
saved
shit,
up enough
it was.
rent, I put that in a sock, and then that rent sock went in one side of the drawer, and all the other money in that drawer was just me money
Step
because that's how I
3.
lived.
Step 3.
That was
always
my
have some
finance.
sock money.
Always have some sock money squirreled
That's-
away
no, no.
because you might have to have a joint bank account.
Rent.
Separately.
Oh, that would be
Sometimes
great.
sometimes that sock didn't get full until way too close to when rent was due.
And I think this should be rule number 2 about planning a wedding. When you're 6 minutes into keeping your hand in the ice water competition,
That was the 3rd time I did it.
and on the 3rd time that you do it, and the person who you're competing against laughs and says, "Hey, we should just sign a truce and say we both win," they're about to give up, and you hold steady.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was about to give up because I was freaking out. Though.
Yeah.
I would have
So
won
my wife
if I
was
held
playing
strong.
the
You
hold
would've
your
won.
hand in
You
the
totally
ice
But I
water.
also
Never give up. Never give up.
never,
Never
ever,
give up.
ever give up.
Unless
Rule
you're
number 2.
unless
Never,
you're
ever, ever give
unless
up.
your significant other sucks, then get a divorce. Get the fuck
No,
out.
I mean, the Japanese definitely should have given up after
My
we nuked
advice
two
is
cities.
instead of
Yeah.
getting a divorce,
Yeah.
see that problem earlier and don't get married.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Luke.
great
That's great.
advice.
Oh, why didn't you just avoid the war?
Do you guys want to? Do you guys know what the rule is if you want to get divorced in North Carolina?
Is it
Fuck
the
a pig? I don't know. I mean, sometimes there is a moment that stands out as like
So
I've arrived.
Luke's rule number 2 would be no divorces, right? That's
No,
what it
rule
sounded
number
like.
2 was don't give up on the ice game.
Oh, I'm never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Never
we need a
gonna
rule number
hurt
1.
you.
What's rule number 1 about planning a wedding?
Never get divorced.
Never.
This is rule number 1, baby. I don't know how much we could play, but
We're
Do it in
allowed
5-second
5
intervals.
seconds.
This is
Yeah, just
this is fair use, right?
Hit pause
you
every
didn't see
5
that
seconds.
coming, did you?
We're analyzing it.
I
We're
can't
talking
listen to that
about
guy.
we're doing music analysis. It's fair use.
Never give up. That's
Oh.
rule number 1. Oh shit!
All
That
right,
was
so
rule
Joe's
number 2.
rule number 1 is never give up.
No, wasn't that rule number 2?
Wait, is this wedding advice
You
or
literally said
marriage
rule number
advice?
2 was never give up in the ice bath.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Like share. Rule number 1 is like, share, and subscribe.
Is that rule number 1?
Why not?
How about
If
this? Would you
made it
rather be
this long,
married?
You're not expecting a real number 1.
Would you rather be married to a genie?
Yes.
All right, so rule number 1 is to not piss off the genie when
Yes.
he's trying
As
to
always.
arrange your
Yes.
marriage.
That's the
I think that's a
genie
good
trick
number 1
of this episode. Was
Actually, I want to give some advice, and let's make this rule number 0 then.
Yeah, we
'Cause
need a
this
rule
is
number
the
0.
countdown to 0.
Yeah,
In the
he's
Orville,
gonna hang up.
Seth MacFarlane's
Uh-huh.
character was giving the best advice ever, which was like, you
Joe's
can't
gonna
be
hang up.
perfect. Like, girls don't like perfect. Don't be perfect. He goes,
you
be a
sent me
dummy
that.
sometimes and be a really big dummy like once in a while.
But whatever you do, don't be perfect all the time.
Yeah, don't be
Yeah.
perfect. And I
Granted,
was like,
nobody wants
oh,
perfect.
that's actually decent advice. And luckily, I do that naturally. I'm dumb sometime naturally, and I'm really dumb a few times naturally.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Rule number 0. And this has been 11. I hate myself more.
That's your problem. See,
Yeah.
I hate myself equally across all.
I
time
think you should
frames.
only get married. Rule number -1. Only get married to people who hate you.
All right, we're done.
So think about it, and just remember, 2 bits of advice I am going to give, I forgot, is nobody cares what Corinthians says about love. That's a book written by a bunch of racist old shepherds from 2,000 years ago. You know, the whole love is kind, love is this. We get it, all right? I don't need to hear what Corinthians is saying about it. And 2, that weird, like, white cake, the spongy white cake with that raspberry, like jism cream in the middle. I've never liked any of it. Who likes that cake? Like the fondant-y kind of frosting that gets like hard because they made it the night before and it's just sitting out because it's huge. Does anyone even like those cakes? Just order a bunch of pies. We got like a dozen really nice pies from this pie stand. Maybe like 20 pies. So there was variety. You know, raspberry cake. I hate raspberry. Well, go fuck yourself. This way you got peach cobbler, you got strawberry rhubarb. People can pick and choose. And I hope you've made it this far. You don't hate us or yourself. And if we scared you out of getting married, then maybe you should take some time to think about it anyways. If we were able to dissuade you, life's going to be harder than this. So thanks for listening. And like, share, subscribe. Later, Thunkers.